Oh, well, hello there. Thanks for joining. Oh god, I can hear myself. Let's not have that. It's very distracting. Um, Benjamin's here. He's a little bit damp, but he's making it work. And we're just firing up the model from last time. And we're gonna carry on. So let me get this rocking here. Ooh, fancy transition. It's actually just throwing in a real shower from the 3D warehouse into the bathroom. But yeah, let me sweet. So let's do like a quick recap for anyone who's wasn't with us last week, or wasn't even. When was it?
Yeah, it was just a few days ago.
Yeah. Yeah, it's all blurred now to me. So I'm going to just strip this down real quick and just quickly talk about what it was that we made here.
Myself, but I need to have my laptop plugged in.
Yeah, here's a fun fact about tiny house design is that there is a receptacle, like a power plug over there, because when we were designing this, we assumed that like Kiva might like lay along there, or vice versa. Like we'd each have one leg of the couch, and then after committing to that design, we found ourselves with a monster, a golden beast man. It's a beast. And we're like, well, where should he go? And we're like, well, he could just go on the end of the couch, and so that's become his bed. And now it's like a little bit awkward with the setup there. Often he's like, he rolls over and like encroaches on our area, and then we find ourselves like cramped. Just turn the other way, like cramped all up, and this side, and Ben's like sprawled out, just loving life. Paws like dangling off the couch, like kicking in his dreaming. So that's our guy.
Daddy has a suggestion for an addition, I guess, to the model.
Okay, sweet. I'm just trying to do some of these. Just realizing that our layers need a little bit of tweaking. All right. So, so I just wanted, I was just organizing it in such a way that we can just quickly go over what we did last time. So we start with the trailer. Just ignore these blocks for now. Oh no, I can't actually take those off. There we go. So we start with the trailer. I believe this is 24 feet, as was suggested. Yeah. And so we talked about putting in some, I believe it's a 2x6 floor. Oh, yeah, we're going for a not particularly cold climate, so we're just putting the floor framing in, laying the subfloor down right on top of that, just right on the deck. Normally do some insulation, and we're gonna have some couple videos showing some really cool details about insulating your floor soon. And then we worked on some walls. Someone suggested basically this kind of shape. So we just kind of slapped it together, put the peak in the center, and the idea was to have two lofts and then some kind of like dormer things on the roof on both sides, I believe. Of course, this is wide open. We can do whatever we want. And yeah, so just made that simply through the door on here. And it was actually my idea to offset the door. It was centered by default, but just the way the interior was coming together. So I just blocked off the fenders there and threw some flooring down, and then we have like these contents in here. Now, I lost my futon, but I had thrown futon down into this corner. That's why I offset the door, and then say put a TV across the way so that you can have kind of like a living space, and then it's just kind of like a long alley or like corridor basically, with then the kitchen on the right, and bathroom here is kind of what we were working on specifically. And then there's some space here when we were talking about what's going to go here, if there's going to be a ladder going up here, or if there's like the fridge goes there. I think we were talking about that. And yeah, basically how to get to the lofts, or if we should rearrange this. So our goal is to be interactive with the stream, so just shout out in the chat whatever you think, any ideas or anything you want to see us try here in order to make a tiny house. We can just completely rearrange it at any time.
So we had a couple suggestions. One was that we put a barbecue that's stored on the outside, but you also use it on the outside. So maybe we could get to that when we start doing exterior stuff.
Yeah, it might be cool to put it here. We actually talked about last time doing like a fold-down deck,
right?
Which is something that we can put on. I mean, we can do whatever people want to do, but
there's another suggestion for having a big window.
Yeah.
And also, Kitty Bell would love to see what the dormers would look like on that shape.
Yeah. Okay, so what was the thing you said right before that?
A big window.
Big window, okay.
And people are into the fold-down deck idea.
Cool, okay. Yeah, I was just going to throw something on that's just loosely represents it. That's like a kind of finished plywood. I mean, this looks... Some of these colors look hideous, but it's got something maybe that folds up, and then, you know, you could go like that. And then, yeah, I don't know, the barbecue, I guess it'd be cool to have it on this end, but we can get to that later. So, yeah, the dormers, I mean, it's pretty important, I guess, to know what the heck's going on in the loft. So putting the dormers in. I mean, I'm just going to have to make this up as I go. I don't really know if this would work particularly well. I'm sure it could be done. It might be a real pain to frame it, which is also a consideration during a design phase. Like, you know, you can make it really neat and unique, but it may also be super difficult to build if you're building it yourself, or time consuming for someone else to build for you. So I'm just going to pull this. Now, what do we leave? Yeah, it was 2 inches from the peak here. Whoops. So we put that. So let's go. Well, here's a question. How deep are these lofts, and how deep should they be? Got 8 feet there. This one I think was suggested very specifically at 5 feet. And this one was going to be the office, right?
The one over the bathroom was the office.
Yeah, and then this is a sleeping one. So how many... Here's a question. So imagine we have a dormer in here. So basically, like, if you're looking at the screen, you know, it's going to... How should I even show this? Like, it's going to go up, right? If this is the current roof line that you're looking at on the screen, it's going to go up like that. So with that in mind, which orientation would the bed go? And what size of bed do we want to try to sneak in here? I bet we could fit a king up in that spot, or we could do a queen with storage on the side, or if it's meant for an individual, you could go even smaller. So shout out in the comments what size of bed we want to sit in here, and then what orientation do we want it, and then we can figure out how high we want to bring the dormer out and stuff.
Okay, so someone says queen size.
Queen size. So if you're not familiar with this, there's the 3D warehouse here, and just type in whatever, and it's a bit of hit and miss. Like, anyone can submit anything to this, so you can often end up with really weird
What if you just
stuff.
queen mattress?
That might be better.
Kitty Bell says, I like when the head of the bed is within the dormer space.
Oh, okay.
So a nice wide dormer maybe would be good.
Let's just see if I can pull the mattress off of this. Of course, it's not easy. Oh no. Oh. This is a good example of what you find on the 3D warehouse. Trying to minimize my OCD here. Just clean up like a little bit of the junk around it. There we go. Okay. Oh, no. Wait. Well, this won't do at all. This has got to come off. Don't judge me. Okay. Will this close off if I close this? Yes. Yes, look at that.
That's no good, it's hollow.
What? That's totally fine. It's completely, perfectly fine. Now, just real quick, American queen mattress size 60 by 80, and this model is, clicking a weird spot here. Alright, looks like it's gonna be just about right. Look at that. Well, I gotta give hand that to them, that the the model's dimensions were correct. So that's a win. All right. Slap that in there and then go in and grab it. Oh. Right. So that's what a queen looks like up there.
So we got
It's not a ton of space.
For storage.
Yeah, so we could, like, it's kind of interesting. It's an interesting one because we could end up with, you know, if we centered it and then put the dormer in, and you were laying this way. I mean, my instinct would be to put it any orientation other than this, because usually you kind of tuck your head in. to the corner. Like if you walk into a room and you like a big master bedroom and there's a bed there, it's like the pillows are by the wall, not out like in the center of the room,
Yeah.
which is kind of the equivalent of what
Like
this is.
You know, feng
Yeah. Yeah. However, if you had the dormer here, and you laid like this, you'd be kind of like looking. Well, yeah, I don't know. Or I guess if it was it Kitty that was making the suggestion?
About the dormer? Or the putting the bed under the...
Yeah, so I guess what exactly do you mean by that? Like do you mean this way or do you mean the other way so that your head is under like the highest point?
Bryce is in the chat.
Ah, yes. Living big in a tiny house. How's it going? Thanks for joining us. Flip her around. Okay, so she's saying spin this around. Like so. Just let me know if this is what you're thinking. Like that. And also, how thick is this? Oh, this is an not something specific. Oops. This needs to be 6 inches. And you know what we can do too is we'll deal with the door later, but I'm gonna go just because we know we haven't got a feel free to suggest a height for underneath these lofts, but we're just gonna do the same one, the same 6'4" that we have in the tiny nest because we know that that's a fairly safe value to work with. So there's that. Now I'm gonna do a horrible mess of this dormer, just warning, because I don't really know what I'm doing here, but let's just see if I can make something happen here. So wall right, pull that off. So I guess the dormer doesn't have to pop up until way over here, which is like 5 feet, 4 feet. Let's go with 4 feet. And then what's that? Yeah, I'm not really sure, to be totally honest, how you would do this because you could do something crazy like have it have the roof slope the opposite way. Do you know what I'm saying?
No. What do you mean?
I mean...
Oh, what?
You know what I'm saying?
Have the low point in the center?
Yeah.
Oh.
I don't know if that's like a good move structurally for roofing.
Yeah, because like then the water would just...
Pool. I mean... Well, you could also make it... I'm going to make it flat just for the sake of like moving forward with this. But you could potentially make it like a gable dormer. You know what I'm saying? And that way water would have, when it gets to that point, the meeting point, it would go out. But we're not going to get too structural here.
So John Smith is suggesting a doghouse dormer. And then TTF Web is questioning if what we're talking about is a butterfly roof. So maybe that's similar to what we're talking about.
Yeah, well let me just let me draw it. There's a lot of talking, no drawing. So let me just throw this in here. So I'm thinking like this. So for this probably, yeah, I mean, butterfly sounds about right for this. So what do you guys think of this? What I don't want to do is get too bogged down on like designing the shape of this like really specifically. I'm more like kind of get it in place so we can work on the interior, and then if we have time we can always come back and kind of tweak the rest of it. But it's more about just like getting a concept down quickly and then looking at it and getting a sense of it and identifying like major issues, sort of like short turnovers. That's what after having some experience with like this kind of thing, this kind of design, it seems like a good idea to do like quick iterative things until until you've decided on it, rather than like you know, doing all the details and getting stuck on those, and then finding out that something else major needs to change, and then having to redo it all. So, sort of ranting here, but are people people responding to this? What do you guys think of this shape, at least for now, anyway? So you can see that it's, yeah, the slope, it goes out, because, yeah, it makes no sense to have the roof go that way, because you can't.
Yeah.
You'd have to have the main roof be really, really steep, like ultra steep, and then stick a dormer out like that for them both to be sloped in the same direction.
Yeah. So people are thinking that it's cool looking and would provide good interior space.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, let's see.
And someone's saying put a gable on that dormer.
Yeah. Okay. I'll give it a go real quick and see what happens. Oh God. Oh well, this is the highest point that I can go with. How do I want to do this?
And a large skylight.
I'm trying to decide what SketchUp trick to use here. I mean, I could go like this. Oh, that doesn't work. Oh, what the heck is going on at the end there? Is this gonna work? Okay, what I could do maybe is, no. Oh, wait a minute. I know what I'm doing wrong here. This is very tricky. You guys have put me in a very tricky SketchUp position here.
Tricky joke.
It's very tricky. I'm gonna have to do some real trickery here to make this happen. Oh, it does not like me. I know what's happening, but
Use your SketchUp kung fu.
oh, the kung fu involves a lot of trial and error. Is this at an angle? No, it's flat. Okay, so what do we want to do? How many degrees do we want to do? 15 degrees? 14 degrees? Let's do 14 degrees. Oh, why did it... oh, man. That makes no sense why it's doing that. Always throwing the hardest stuff at me. Oh, this is so messy. You know what? I'm aborting that. It's too finicky for this. let's just slap this in here. And go like this. Almost like we've achieved something here. Just got to keep it simple. Doing the dormer is just it's too tricky for a quick thing. Okay. Here we go. And then obviously we're going to have windows in here. One big one. Or if it was like a gabled thing, you can have like a circular window. Although you probably would want a window that you can literally, like, as I'm about to say, for safety, you should have an egress. You're like, I like circular windows. What do our viewers think?
What's the question?
Type of window. Obviously, at the end of the dormer, there's going to be a window. So, what type of window should it be?
Should it be an egress?
Yeah, I mean, it shouldn't be super small. I would think,
Long, skinny window.
Long, skinny window. Sold. So let's do 1 foot in. I'm just like doing really random measurements here. That's too far. Let's do 8 inches. And 8 inches up.
Can't type. Thanks you. That's what I just said. People try.
People try. There we go. So, you can see how that was. Now, it's almost like, might want to move it up a bit because you're going to kind of bonk your head trying to get into bed. Let's try to see, what can I do now? I'm going to try to...
Feels like a coffin.
I'm going to go against my fears that this will completely wreck it and just go like that. Did that work? Kind of worked. So obviously we're getting into a weird looking, I mean, this is a flat roof. It can't really work. If it was gabled, which we could, mess with later, so it could work. And then you got a lot more headroom coming up in here. So you want it to be giving you more headroom right as you're getting in, not just in further in. So this window is a bit... pretty good. Oh, and I guess, if we're gonna go like this, we might as well. I have the fear I'm gonna get myself into trouble in SketchUp moving big things like this. Is it gonna work? Come on. Show me the left. Yes. Just push that right up to the front like that so that it's like an unbroken. Oh, what the heck? Yeah. Unbroken wall in the end. This doesn't need to be quite so crazy. Uh-oh, this is gonna get me into trouble. Yeah. I should have been grouping that. Okay, I'm gonna leave it alone. Looks decent. Now, so I mean, I would just. What do we got here? At this point, for simplicity, I would just duplicate this.
Someone's saying that it's aerodynamic to have it that way and not have it on the other side.
This is true. This looks ridiculous, but that's the point of this, right? Is to just screw around and see what happens. Right, because the dormer doesn't need to be quite as huge on this side, but the idea was to have like an office. The original suggestion was to have an office here. And so let's see, what do we have here? Let's go with another 6 inches here. And yeah, I'm just going to quickly draw something here. And go like this. Oh, I'll just draw it manually. Been clicking on the wrong things. I feel people are watching me. It's making me nervous. It's always better to stop and just fix something rather than let it get out of hand. Is it the shower that was messing me up here? Oh, I bet you that's what was going on. Okay. Okay. That was only difficult because I was taking the quick road earlier. So now we've got a loft here, which once again is 6'4" to the underside. So when you're in the bathroom, 6'4". And now if this is going to be a little office, let's throw a chair in there, unless you're going to like sit cross-legged.
We should get some windows up in this hizzy too.
On the sides?
Yeah.
Of the dormers? Well, they may be sloped if we were to turn them into gables. Because right now it's practically a flat roof. Which is a little awkward. But just for the sake of getting the space up in here. How much room do we have here? 3'10". I mean, I think you'd have to basically sit on the floor and have like a little micro desk. like a little coffee table if this was to be an office.
Right.
You know? Unless you're a short person and you also had a shorter bathroom, which gave you more space, but also because you're short, that more space does a lot for you. I would be hesitant to try to put some kind of workstation up here, but for real design. But let's just see what happens here.
So someone's saying seated you'd only need 49 inches.
I don't think we've got 49 inches. 49 is more than 4 feet, and we have less than 4 feet. I mean, we can look too if you want to see with a chair. We can throw. Let's see.
Someone's saying that we all know Jake uses a standing desk, so of course he can't fathom a workspace above the bathroom.
This is true. I mean, here's like, oh, here we go. Here's like kind of office type chairs. So. So, I mean, that doesn't look like it would work.
No.
Right? I mean,
I guess if it was dormer.
well, this is, I mean, this is as high as you can go, because
Right.
here's the height limit, right? We're right at the limit. So, I mean, if you wanted to make a cozy, I've seen different sort of like little mini living rooms up in shallow lofts that have kind of little seating pillows,
Yeah.
or like kind of seating with no legs that's like right on the ground,
Right.
because then you know, just for the sake of imagining what that would be like, it's like, let's just chop that off, and then your seat is obviously it wouldn't be an office chair like this, but like
Yeah.
if you're down like that, sorry if I'm screaming into the mic, if you're down like this, then it could almost work.
Someone has an idea that you could have like a trap door where your seat goes down when you're not using the space below.
Yeah.
You could have it like right over top of the toilet in the bathroom.
Well, if the toilet's in the corner, it'd be it'd be way over there, but yeah. I mean, all things to explore. You know, I would almost sooner. I guess it just depends how you're gonna use it. I mean, this is an evolution of a bunch of people's suggestions, so it's kind of a weird mishmash. But I would almost suggest turning this other loft into like a lounge. You know what I mean?
Right, because there isn't a lot of lounge space in the bottom.
Well, you could make this a lounge space, and I lost my futon for some reason. Where was that one that I had? This one. No, this one. Simple futon. The other one was like bigger than the house. Remember that? I was saying.
Beanbags.
and this is a really great idea because it was my idea.
Dude, beanbag.
That we should do this.
Idea.
Is someone suggesting that?
Yeah, beanbag tiny house.
The entire thing. Let's do it. Let's do some really.
Find some like psychedelic.
No, it's gotta be like hipster. Like.
Beanbag's hipster.
I don't know. Look at these things. Those are cool. Look, little cubes. There's something that actually looks pretty comfy. Let's try that. This is probably gonna be a million polygons. Where is it? There it is. Oh, is it humongous? Is it like bigger than the house? Oh, it's enormous. Here we go. It's just, there you go. You see this? The size of the beanbag?
It's perfect.
Yeah, it's perfect size. Don't even worry about it. Okay, let's do away this office chair because clearly that's not happening. Oh, I'm just gonna first rough size reference because this is ridiculously humongous. Oh god, get it out of my face. I can't. There we go.
You have like this stack of unused crap outside the house.
Yeah. Does that seem like the right size? Yeah. Let's go with that. Yeah. Such a hideous brown. You know what I like? I like blue. Let's do that. Okay, let's get it in there. There we go. Okay, beanbag office, done. You can even have 2 people working there, like this.
Dude, you should put in a lava
Oops.
lamp.
Okay, what's that?
Someone's suggesting it.
Oh, really? It's you. You're suggesting it. Yeah. I'm not looking at the chat, so you can take advantage of me. It's not fair. Just gonna rotate this a little bit. There you go. Look, you could have 2 people up there doing something on this tiny desk that I'm gonna raise up. There we go. Now you can do something up there. Something productive, for sure. Okay, well let's try to figure out like a couple logistical things. Like, even though elements of this design are a little bit crazy, let's just try to make it functional. So how do we get into the lofts is the question. We could almost put stairs, you know, do a double loft. Tends to favor the use of stairs. Like, we could do something like put we put this door back into the center. So let's go like this. Go like that. Delete this. And then, oh, this is going to be a horrible mess. Might just offset the bed just a, whoops, just a tad like that, and then see, I don't know. I don't know if I like. What about putting a fridge with a ladder? Feel free to chime in the chat. Let me know if people are suggesting things.
A chicken ramp, a fire pole, an elevator, or teleportation.
All right. When I ask for practical solutions, they're all over it. Can always count on our viewers. What should I pick here? Let's just do the most simple thing. Just very much to just represent the situation here. You're just gonna climb over the fridge. It's totally reasonable. With on an old ladder that's rickety. Is that a broken rung? What? That's great. That is awesome. That really, and it's all twisted. We're keeping it just to add a little bit of a challenge to get into the loft. Here we go. This is ridiculous. This broken rung is killing me. Okay, just climb over the fridge to that, and yeah. See, it is difficult to deal with a design when you've kind of like, if you make a long area that needs to stay open, you end up putting everything on one side, and then it's like loft access is very tricky. So alternatively, you could put the
I kind of like it on the fridge.
What?
The ladder. Because you could build like a little box.
Yeah, you could encase the fridge.
Yeah.
But now do we want to put a ladder on the other side? And then what's really the benefit of doing all this? Because
what if you put...
we're going to end up with a wide open space right here that's unused.
I noticed that in a few tiny house designs. Where you do that just long...
Like a walkway with everything on either side?
I mean, you could do something like... just put like a bit of a half wall coming down from the loft under the bed to kind of separate. Or does the loft end halfway across the... Oh no. If you put like a little half wall, it'd be like kind of separating the spaces. And you could put a ladder or something there.
Well, you could do something like this. Now, this is going to get into the question of like, yes, but people don't like to close off tiny houses.
That's true.
So
this one's more of like a wide open design. You could put like a
well,
big window.
What I was going to say was like, what you're describing kind of sounds like this.
Yeah.
And then, like that. And then, you could just put another ladder, but I mean, this is getting really suboptimal, the use of space here. Which is the point of doing this, is to determine when stuff goes wrong.
Someone is suggesting.
Oh, that bridges the two.
Yeah.
And then how do you get in? Do you just have one access?
Yeah. That'd be interesting.
I like it. I like it. Shaking things up here. It's good. Except it wouldn't quite be like that. It would be more like... How about that? And then we can do away with these. I mean, obviously they're be some kind of support. Well, you could probably figure something out. Yeah, you know, that's kind of neat because it has like an upstairs. Oh, I'm gonna get rid of these office chairs. There's all this, yeah, junk, excuse me, piling up outside.
There's a couple good suggestions here.
Yeah.
One person says put the beanbag office under the bathroom and raise the floor up for the bathroom and have a chill sit room like Dan's bedroom in his tiny house. And then someone says to drop the bedroom loft floor down on the side to make it standing height. I like that idea.
Oh, on the catwalk side.
Yeah.
If you walk in and crawl into bed. Yeah, you know, I think Aaron's mom has that.
Oh, cool.
I still haven't seen that house, but there's a house in real life that we've yet to go and actually tour, but the design was just like that. So I don't know if a queen is gonna fit though. It's how much you need, at least 2 feet, I would think. Let's go with 2 feet. So I would push this in, possibly resize the bed to something smaller, and then how am I going to chop this apart? I'm just going to have to go like this. And so standing height is what? I mean, also because the dormer is kind of in a weird spot, but let's just imagine that we had it more open and there wasn't this to hit your head on. And we drop this down to 3 foot. So drop it down 3'4", I would say. So it gets pretty low to produce a standing height there, because this is, oh no, I've done something wrong here. That's way more than it needs to be. At least it can come up another foot. 6'4", roughly. Right, and then put that wall back in for a sec. This also becomes a bit trickier to frame as well, because you need to support 2 different heights of loft instead of just having one span all the way across. How long did we make this loft? Let's go with 8 feet. So, I mean,
That's really neat.
yeah, I would argue that it's a questionable use of space, because it really limits
Yeah.
what you've got left. And you know, in a tiny house, it's like if you allocate a whole bunch of space to an area that's like a walkway like this, or a hallway, or your front door entryway, if you allocate a whole bunch of space that needs to stay open so that you can traverse it, then it needs to stay open so you can't put anything else in it, and now you've reduced your total usable space for the main things like kitchen, bathroom, living room, bedroom. So
yeah, some people are suggesting that you could switch it and have the bathroom in that instead of the living room.
oh, having the bathroom under here.
Yeah.
And then where would we put the front door? On the side?
Yeah, on the side maybe.
Yeah.
Anyways, we should probably think about wrapping
Yeah,
it up.
yeah. At this point, I mean, we should almost kind of scrap it and start over if we want to like
You should take a
completely
screenshot
flip.
of it.
Yeah. Yeah, well, let me just make this so it's not. I mean, it looks like crap because we got the doors all messed up. But here I'm gonna back. Here I'm gonna. Here, let me just save a copy. Oh no, what's the date? That's the 10th. And then I'm gonna because I just want to undo back to the loft that we had before. I mean, I kind of like this.
Mm-hmm.
Everything is fine except for the door is gonna need to be shortened. Hang on, I'm not gonna take a screenshot with this stupid ladder that's like got a broken rung. There we go. Okay, cool. All right. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely potential in this design, and so I think we're gonna wrap it up for this one because you know we can go around in circles forever, and it takes longer to change things to just slap them in. So next time we're gonna continue streaming at this pace. We're doing 2 a week at least for the rest of October. So next one will be possibly on the weekend.
Yeah.
So hopefully you'll join us for that. We can start a fresh one, and we'll try to have a bit more like specific questions. Like we'll just have like a list of like types of roofs, a list of lengths and whatever, and get it off to a quick start and see if we can just slap something together and just try out some more stuff. So awesome. Yeah, I'll take a screenshot of this. We'll post this like on social media. Well, also, I'll try to, not that this is like very well organized. My OCD is like twitching right now, but I'll try to make this model available for download as well somewhere. So make sure you're following us on social media, so we'll post it on somewhere. We'll tweet it or something.
And I mentioned it before, but you can download all of the Iron Eagle SketchUp models on our website for free. So if you want to just download a trailer and start playing around with designs, then you can do that.
Yeah, all the Iron Eagle trailers, which I'm actually working on. There's going to be a 30-foot one coming out soon, a model that is, and then also our tiny nest as built. You can get for free, just by or by donation if you choose to support us in that way. And yeah.
And thanks for suggesting stuff.
Yeah, it's that's why we're doing it. Get you guys involved and get some input and throw together something, even if it's a little wacky. So
Good night.
Thanks for coming. Hopefully we'll catch you on the next one.